State House Security Officer Dana Rainier. Sir, if you could please remain standing and raise your right hand. Do you swear that the testimony you're about to give to this court will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
If you could please have a seat. And if you could, please, for purposes of the record, state your name and spell your last.
Dana Rainier, R-A-M-E-I-O-R.
And how are you employed, sir?
State of New Hampshire as a court security guard officer.
How long have you been employed in the capacity as a security officer?
4 years as a per diem and 3 years as a full-time.
And how much of that time approximately has been dedicated to security in the, what is now the 9th Circuit Manchester District Division Court?
All of the 3 years in full-time and approximately 3/4 of the time of the per diem, 4 years.
Okay. And were you on the job January 9 this year?
Yes.
That morning, specifically around about approximately 10 a.m., were you on the job in the courthouse building?
Yes, I was.
And very briefly, how would you describe your and your colleagues, also other court security officers, how do you describe your responsibilities in terms of maintaining security in and around in the immediate area outside of the particular courthouse building?
Duties include security within the building for the employees as well as the public, as well as maintaining the physical part of the building so that there's no obstructions or any damage to it.
Okay. That date and time, did anything catch your attention in the immediate area just outside of the main entrance to the courthouse?
Yes.
And how would you describe what it was that you personally observed?
I went out, somebody told me there was somebody writing with chalk outside the building, so I went from the desk out to the front stoop and observed a person writing on the retaining wall for the handicap ramp. And then the person came over and started chalking on the face of the building to the left and right of the entrance doors.
Okay, and let's focus specifically with respect to what you're calling the face of the actual building. The person who you personally observed applying chalk to that surface, do you see that person in the courtroom today?
I do.
Could you point that person out and just briefly describe what they're wearing today?
She's sitting at the defendant's table wearing a brown business suit.
At any point, did you give an invitation or extend authority for her to engage in that act, you yourself?
No, I did not.
Are you aware of whether or not any of your other colleagues responsible for security of the premises in any way gave an affirmative authority for her to engage in what she was doing?
No.
Okay. Upon observing this, do you in any way engage your court security, but do you in any way engage actual Manchester police officers? And if so, how did you go about doing that?
When I was outside and she proceeded to the front of the building at the front entrance, basically I asked what she was doing, and she answered me with a question, why are you putting my people in cages? She continued to draw on the building with chalk, went to the right side of the door, and came back to the left side of the door. At that time, I turned around, and there was a marked police cruiser right around the corner. I whistled to it and waved for the cruiser to come over.
And were you aware of whether an officer ultimately exited that cruiser and came to the scene?
Yes, Officer Feldhouse at that point came to the front of the courthouse.
And then is it accurate that Manchester Police and Officer Feldhouse essentially took over the lead in the investigation, so to speak?
Correct.
And you went about returning to the building and returning to your duties?
Yes.
Thank you, sir. No further questions at this point, Your Honor.
And again, if you have any questions, please stand and ask them from behind the table there.
Mr. Rainier?
Yes, it is.
So, Mr. Rainier, when I was allegedly talking on a building, and you mentioned you asked me what I